I spent the entirety of Tekken 7's lifespan not knowing how to hit people. And I know that sounds dramatic, but in most of my pro matches back in the day, I would backdash and throw out safe launchers, and that was pretty much it. It worked really well in a game that rewarded defensive play and punished aggressive play, but in Tekken 8, that's pretty much impossible. Backdashes are worse, and that counter hit and turtle playstyle has been heavily nerfed since almost every character can run an offensive mix-up from long range. So to win in this environment, I had to learn how to create pressure and opportunities using my own offense, which is a skill I never had to develop. I've been struggling lately in Tekken 8 to try to find the balance between attacking like an animal and knowing when to pump the brakes and stop. And I know it may sound weird that you're supposed to stop attacking in Tekken 8 sometimes, but at the very top level, the level I aspire to play at, you do have to juggle offensive pressure and defensive awareness at the same time. So I spent most of Season 2 focusing on the skill of how to hit somebody. And for those who have watched the channel for a while, you'll know that I haven't played much Lily or Clive recently, focusing mainly on Steve, and that's why, is I wanted to learn how to hit people. And after nearly a year of solo maining Steve, I'm finally ready to show you the fruits of my study. I'm super excited to show you my progress. For reference, all of these matches are from my own tournament gameplay, spanning back to last year. August 2025 is the first set, all the way until this year, April 2026, with the first time I felt like I was able to demonstrate my updated Tekken 8 playstyle in tournament. And they're all against Elisa players, North American Elisa players that have been giving me a lot of trouble in tournament. And Steve in particular can't just backdash and try to counter hit Elisa because she can run the chainsaw stance from long range. So it's the exact perfect matchup to challenge myself to be able to attack without overextending and getting blown up by Elisa's defensive options. So to illustrate the difference in my gameplay, I want to start with one of the matches from last year. This is in August 2025. I won game 1, aimed 2 won game 2, and this is game 3. You'll see that my gameplay in neutral is a lot of that backdash disengage style. Play from a distance, run up, pause, and then try to attack. My jabs get evaded by the stance, bit unlucky. Lucky opportunity comes back to me though, while standing 2-2 to the back. Plus frames, and I do play a bit aggressively, especially after I have some advantage, but Elisa is so evasive that it's hard to force advantage. On frame advantage situations, she can sidestep, she can power crush, she's one of the most evasive characters in the game. Looking good for me though, greedy Shoryuken! I end up ducking against the chainsaw stance, and I back away again. In this case, it works well, because I find a rage art on reaction to the slide, or to the stance approach. She can cancel it though, so there's a bit of a mind game there. But you'll notice that's kind of the key element in my gameplay. I'm backing away a lot, disengaging a lot, and trying to use my defense, and that doesn't work as well in Tekken 8, where characters have a lot of free approaching tools. Elisa gets access to her stance where you have to guess, so stabilizing the game doesn't happen if you back away. In previous Tekkens, you could stabilize the neutral and get a better understanding of your opponent's timings by creating distance. Now in Tekken 8, there is no big safe zone against most characters. There are exceptions, right? I think Steve doesn't have free approach tools like that. But that's not to downplay his strength or anything. It's just some characters have these abilities, some don't. Against Elisa in particular, you'll see that the chainsaw mix is so effective. By backing away, I only make the situation worse for myself. The best way to mitigate the stance is to be in there where my down forward one, my jabs, and my pokes are more of a threat, so she can't freely get into stance. That's using my character's strengths against hers. But because I'm still in this Tekken 7 style, I only poke a little bit and then try to back away. Down 2-1-2 gets ducked. Nice defensive reaction by aim 2. And now I'm against chainsaws again with power crush. Just not having that Tekken 8 skill dialed in. Power crushing was not as good in Tekken 7, and my character's movement was so strong. I played Noctis, so there was not a big reason to spam power crushes. So a lot of these Tekken 8 tools are foreign to me, and a lot of the Tekken 8 strategy is not in my hands yet. Look, I'm backing away again, delay timing low, miss a little punish on up forward one, backing away again. How am I supposed to win damage if I let her go into chainsaw and mix me for free, and then when I do have the chance to play, I'm not winning any damage? So it's almost in retrospect, I was so confused at the time playing this, but in retrospect, it's not surprising at all that I was struggling. I was not winning damage when I had the opportunities to. And then when it's her turn, I'm guessing the whole time, right? There's not a way to shut down that offense with a nice little defensive pattern that I may have developed, like in Tekken 7. Nice down jab to get under my 2-1 stance, and then no reaction on the chainsaw, unblockable. Spring kick, but it's pretty much cooked here. Down forward 1-2, counter hit, peekaboo low. The Shoryuken is way too late. He has no reason to duck there with that kind of HP situation. So that was back again in August 2025. Let me show you another quick sample. This is against Aimed 2 again. Tournament match the next month, September 2025. And you'll see that I make a few adjustments. I decide to backdash less, but a new problem emerges. Okay, so I get some peekaboo pressure here, knockdown, failed conversion. I'm dashing up and trying to hold that close space, but I'm still not attacking, right? I go in and I'll do some dash block shimmies right here, and then I just get power crushed. And I could get clipped by so many moves. Now she's in chainsaw again, and I'm getting blown up. So in the windows where I have agency, I'm not taking advantage of it by depleting his HP bar. I duck there, the string mix-up gets me, no problem. So there's multiple skill components involved in the art of attacking, and if you came from Tekken 7 like me, you may be missing these skills entirely, and that's why I feel like I understand it now. It'll be more clear in the next sets. I'm still finding opportunities. I'm still forcing some offense, like on wake-up situations. Here I have plus frames, so might as well use them. Counter hit on the left weave, forward 1-1-1. Last hit is a high, but aim 2 mash instead of ducking. Down 2 gets low parried, a little bit greedy to end the round immediately. And now this is a bit tough because I'm at that spacing where chainsaw is a threat. Running cross chop just for a little pocket sand, down 2-1 is good. And if you pay attention to this round start, you'll see immediate evasive move into stance. So you can't mitigate guessing all the way down to 0. And at their core, fighting games are fast-paced rock, paper, scissors. There's always going to be some guessing involved. What the key lesson I think to take away here is there's a skill to adjusting your offense to maintaining the HP lead or winning the HP lead while fighting over information about timings and things like that. But you can't do all that if you're choosing to play so passive that the opponent can just walk all over you. Against Elisa, it's tricky because she's so evasive. Look, sidestep on my down forward too. I find the low parry though. Elisa is so evasive that it makes it scary to attack. You often get punished for attacking. But the solution isn't to stop. And this might sound a little oversimplified, but the solution is really just to attack better. And that's ultimately what I hope to show you at the end of this, is that attacking better is where the skill development is. And it's where my past, 6 to 8 months of training have gone. Actually, it's almost been a whole year at this point. So I feel really good about this. I don't feel good about these chainsaws running at me. At this point, it's really hard to make a comeback, especially as Steve. No strong power low to kind of force situations, and now I'm dead. Aim 2 goes on to win the set in a very similar fashion. So let's go to the adaptations, shall we? Let's jump ahead to this year. April 7th, 2026. Now, this isn't against Aimed 2. This is against another Elisa player of a similar caliber. This is Nick RM in NA. And this is the first time I felt like all my skills kind of came together. Down 2-1 immediately. Honestly, inspired by Nin in Tekken 6. He would run a lot of down 2-1 in that game where Steve didn't have QCF2, which he has now. Peekaboo pressure, peekaboo down 1. And notice I'm not delaying my timings as much anymore. I'll do one shimmy and then attack, but not the multiple shimmies into get blown up. Duck, the counter hit 4 attempt, Sonic Fang heat dash, immediate buttons, and then delay. And I let him do the high here. I let him do the high again. Why? Because I value my health lead. I know you can duck that, but you actually might have seen in an earlier Aim 2 set, I duck and eat the mid. I would rather let it fizzle out, let him do the unsafe mid, and then take my just take my turn back after blocking the high. Okay, big delay timings for me again, but I decided to take the initiative. Cancel the peekaboo down 2, little season 3 pocket sand. 1-2-1, challenging, dash block, and then I duck the high. I could have taken the mid there, but I had more HP this time than previous, and my back wasn't to the, with the balcony, the exploding wall. So sidestep on her down forward 2, stance pressure again, run the high, win some damage. If they duck and launch me, it's just game 1. I have a 2-round lead. It's totally fine. Dash blocking, finding those panic button timings. I eat the next down forward 2, delaying a little too much. But again, this is information. It's just game 1. You don't have to win every interaction. Dash up back 1. Heat burst is good there. Peekaboo down 1. I noticed that the delay timings are the same thing over and over again. So sidewalk the heat smash, running 2. It auto corrects and the balcony break auto corrects. And even with all that advantage, I drop my combo. Little whiff, whiff punish. Running 2 is a bit too greedy. I can do a faster mid there. Stance pressure, I do duck, and now it's a bit ugly. And then right weave goes underneath Elisa's high. This is a homing move, but Steve's weave, unlike a sidestep, is high evasive to some moves. So, a little bit of robbery. I can't lie. But, that's Tekken. You have to rob your opponent now and then. Back 1 into full crouch low. Nick RM's getting a bit more active, so I just backdash and whiff punish. And that's the thing. The Tekken 7 skills aren't dead. You just can't autopilot them. You can't just backdash mindlessly. I see him swinging more, so I play the backdash. Stance high again. You're going to have to deal with it. If you don't show me you're going to duck, I'm going to take my damage. Take my HP off of the situation. Down 1. Little delay again, and let him try to play a panic option. Hard duck after the down 2-1. The down 2-1 forcing some type of interaction, giving me an opportunity to punish. Over here into Albatross 2. Again, a Season 3 Steve change. Nice duck on my up back 2. Homing high option if I'm trying to deal with the side steps. Ducking is the counterplay. 1-2. Boom, boom. Okay. That's a safe string, actually. Clinch 1. Sonic Fang. Safer link. No punish on the toe kick. That is launch punishable, but I'm not dwelling on that. Heat smash. Guard break again. You are going to have to duck, sir. Peekaboo low. And notice how much more active I am up close. Notice how I'm not delaying the timings too much. A little backdash Sonic Fang. Keep out. And a down jab. This is a really nice sequence. Okay, so I'm in there. I'm running the offense, ducking the panic option. And when everything is going my way, I backdash and then play keep out. So it's not just offense, it's not just guard breaks, it's not just Korean backdashing, it's the mixing of all of those together. Counter hit down forward 2 conversion. Using my new controller to my advantage. Almost 100 damage. Stomp. The lows have been free, and now I can run the mid out of Lionheart because the guard breaks have been adding up. Pressure is mounting. Heat dash to stabilize. One more hit, jump over the low, no problem. Duck the slide and launch it. And a pop-off because I had been dealing with the frustration of not just Elisa, but of how my skill set struggles against her. I've been dealing with that for, I mean, it's been since Season 1, but consciously working on it with Steve has been an issue for almost a year. So this felt really good to get this type of win. Yeah, and floating out of the slide was quite nice. I was not autopilot backdashing. I was not forcing situations up close that could be sidestepped and power crushed. It was attack sometimes, go low a lot, we'll look for the panic option and adjust. And now I have the final game that brings it all together. I'm once again matched against Aimed 2 in tournament on the loser's side. He is God 6, and I'm only God 3. The strategy is in play. Run up low, immediately run some sequences that don't have too much delay. Okay, so invite him to respond, but don't give him too much freedom. I ran down 2-1-2 over again. QCF1 Power Crush. Keeping his window of retaliation low. Messed up combo there, and he gets a side throw. Haven't seen that animation in a minute. Big whiff, small whiff punish there, and then the duck one is working. I'm going to keep running it. It's a bit awkward for Lisa, because if you sidestep button, you get counter hit. So it automatically covers some autopilot Elisa patterns. 1-2-1-2, catching the throw attempt. Down 2-1. There's the duck one again. Just having a slight delay that's big enough to not get sidestepped, but fast enough to counter hit the sidestep option. Some Tekken 8 situations happening here. DF 1-2, and then up back 2 catches the stance sidestep, but I can't convert. Sonic Fang immediately, a little attempt to try and rob him of more HP since I had a big lead. It costs me quite a bit, so not the most worth it, but it was a good try for game 1, I think. 1-2-1, down 1. Respect the down jab, and then resume my pressure. Heat Burst will get counter hit by the low. Sonic Fang from a distance. I didn't backdash away. I didn't shimmy up close. I put out a hitbox. Very important there. Sidestep down forward 2 from me. Jab gets evaded. These chainsaw situations, I do have to respect a bit. I'm trying to close the gap. I whiff. Big slide block. We love that. Weave. The continued string catches me. I'd have to swing faster to get that to work. Reactable low. I fail the reaction. 1-2-1 recovers in time. Power crush. No good over here, but this is an ugly situation. Run up low is fine. Probably could have an argument that I could have tried to get into heat a little sooner, but on Steve I tend to try to save it for the heat engage. I think it's more valuable. Down 2-1 into duck 1 again. Down 2-1. The second hit is blockable even if you eat the low, but it's working. I'm winning HP again. Inspired by Nin from Tekken 6. Back 1 on delay. I've interacted so much on that either immediate timing or slight delay. So now I run up and really stand still. And I go, hey, you can fight back. Back 1. Now I'm playing super fast again. Let's look at that sequence one more time so you see what I'm talking about. Every situation prior to this, I'm run up doing low. I'm run up down forward 1, right? So now I super delay. Just like, hey, nothing's happening. Back 1. Convert to the combo. And then look at this. Stomp. He wakes up. Take my turn immediately. Down forward 1-2, up back 2, homing, guard break. Don't give him any time to breathe. There was that delay earlier, and it blew him up. So now it's likely he'll have some hesitation. He might be in the back foot, or he might mash more. Either way, playing frame tight and playing my homing moves would help a lot. If he did sidestep button, he would have beaten me, but we had rounds to give. Up back 2 gets ducked. He doesn't launch it. Nice low parry in the down 2-1. So I've shown down 2-1 a lot. It gets low parried. I'm still going to insist. It's given me a lot of value. Jab float there was risky, but I'm glad it worked. No conversion though. Down 2-1-2 gets counter hit trying to power crush the last hit. Capitalizing here. Stomp. Stomp. Mid. I'm just running my buttons. Down jab. Okay. So he's trying to get away from the pressure. I can tell now. Block the next down jab, take my frame advantage. I think he tried to heat burst here. And yeah, at this HP, she's not going to survive if I just challenge her while standing 2. It's in frame, which is nice. So I think she would have had to play a sidestep, and even then, I don't know if it would have evaded while standing 2 at that much disadvantage when down jab is blocked. Try to punish the second hit, no luck, but I low parry the down back 4. Steve does run a lot of highs, so it's reasonable to play a high evasive low, but I was looking for some kind of retaliation there. And it would have gone under the standing 4 also. Weave. 1-1. Just normal hit. And the reason I ripped that, usually I would have played for safety. I would have played for safety here with Weave 1-1 forward 1, the 3 hits. But here, look at my HP lead. It's so high, and if I land my move, I win. This is kind of like a Pakistani-style decision-making, inspired by them to take risks sometimes if it will win you the round or the game. Right? Even if it's not so safe or, you know, the perfect option, if you win, you win. So it's a great Pakistani adaptation that I've learned from studying them. Raw Shoryuken is up there too. I'm up 2 rounds. I can take more risks. But what I don't want to do is give up control here. So I run up and do the mid. It gets sidestepped. This will happen to you fighting Elisa. But you want her to respond, and then you want to call out the response, rather than letting her hit you for free. When she's in Chainsaw, she already gets to hit you for free. Late block punish, VDX. Very nice. Okay, I run up and delay a little bit, but not too much. And that gives me this opportunity. Again, there's such a thing as doing too much nothing, which is a very Tekken 7 symptom a lot of people have. Okay, I'm whiffing from a distance, though. Bit of an overcorrection in the buttons department. Running 2, and now 7 seconds. Shoryuken against the slide. My idea here, honestly, was to cover the slide. That was one option. But also, I thought that if he ran up to do running 2, it may have evaded it. I haven't actually labbed the situation to know. Or if he did run up jab, it definitely would have evaded it. That was my idea. And then if she did the running 3-4, she has a moment where she goes airborne as well. So Shoryuken covered a lot of options here. And rather than block and deal with the mix-up after, I hedged my bets on the keep out. And all of that came together to lead to a 2-0 against someone who's been my bracket demon since the launch of Tekken 8, honestly. Aimed 2 has been cooking me, and their style is very effective against the way I like to play the game. So it took a very long time. 6 to 8 months of straight Steve practice, working exclusively on this skill, just so I could overcome the weakness from Tekken 7. My inability to create situations and to create offense off of my hitboxes. I was so good at responding to somebody trying to hit me, especially in previous Tekken games. But with the dawn of Tekken 8 offense, where stances are so powerful, approaching is so powerful, and there's not a good way to skew risk reward in your favor just by playing from a distance. It's required me to adapt by using my buttons more and putting them in my situations. It's never going to be the type of game where if you are better, you will never get hit, right? In Tekken 7, you would have seen a lot of gameplay of people backdashing, and it's impossible to hit them, and they're always jabbing you perfectly and things like that. Tekken 8 is not that kind of game. You're going to get your hands dirty. You're going to lose rounds. You're going to do things that feel non-solid sometimes. But after you develop this skill of being able to hit people, especially if you came again from Tekken 7, and integrate it into the rest of your gameplay, it feels really good. And if you're on the other side of things, where you are thriving by Tekken 8's offense, if Tekken 8 is your first Tekken, you'll see a lot of players whose styles swing in the other direction, where they can attack really effectively. This can maybe add some things to your gameplay as well. It's not just attacking and then panic button and then armor and then heat burst and then rage art. There are moments where once you've established that pressure, you can just backdash and create a bit of distance, and your opponent will fold. We saw it in the Nick RM match, where after winning so many offensive situations, I just back up, and then his approach gets a little too predictable. Right? There's so many layers to Tekken outside of just plus frames, tracking, and mix-ups. There's spacing, there's how the moments you decide to space out affect your opponent's behavior. There's so many layers to this game, and it's super cool to have developed an offensive style that accesses this. So, yeah, Tekken 8 is a more offensive game, but there's still a bit of nuance to it, especially depending on the character you play. And I feel like I've unlocked a new level, and I have no problem sharing it because it feels like a new skill rather than a new strategy. I'm just not going to mindlessly backdash. I'm not going to mindlessly delay my timing. I'm just going to attack in a more skillful way. And hopefully this showed that. So I hope this video was educational. I hope it was informative. If you have more questions about this style of play, we can talk about it more on stream. I plan to do more videos on it, of course. But I'm trying to do more Q&A on stream again to try and help people with specific characters and problems. So twitch.tv/VDX. But otherwise, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.